16 videos, 16 hours of content, 12 minutes of your time. This was one of those weeks where every corner of tech and money dropped a bombshell. Elon Musk spent 7 hours on the witness stand fighting over OpenAI. Tesla's self-driving cars just hit superhuman reaction time. Adam Back went on CNBC to say again, "I am not Satoshi." Anthony Pompliano declared a generational bull market, and someone built a beanie that reads your brain. If you're a small business owner, solo entrepreneur, or just trying to keep up, buckle in. 5 groups, 16 videos, everything that matters this week. Let's go. Let's start where the money is. Strategy. The company formerly known as MicroStrategy now holds more Bitcoin than anyone on Earth except Satoshi Nakamoto. They're approaching 1 million Bitcoin. But here's the play that matters to you. They created a product called STRC. It's a publicly traded preferred stock that pays 11.5% annually, monthly, in cash. And because of how it's classified, return of capital, you don't pay income tax on it right away. For high bracket earners, the effective rate is closer to 16%. The Financial Education Channel did a full breakdown, compared it to money markets at 4%, 10-year treasuries at 4.5%, AAA corporate bonds at 5.5%, locked up for 27 years. STRC crushes all of them. Now, is it risk-free? No. If Bitcoin drops 50% and stays down for 2 to 3 years, dividends could get suspended. There's no redemption. You can only sell to another buyer. An S&P rates strategy at B-. But for the Bitcoin-curious entrepreneur who wants yield without self-custody, this is the most interesting product in the market right now. Just don't bet the farm, and don't use a traditional IRA. It destroys the tax advantage. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin world was buzzing this week. Adam Back went on CNBC Squawk Box to address a New York Times investigation claiming he might be Satoshi Nakamoto. His answer was simple and direct. I am not Satoshi. He addressed the email metadata questions, said he shared correspondence with lawyers during the COPA trial, and moved on. In a separate interview, Back broke down why a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve would trigger a global sovereign bidding war. His key line, Bitcoin is now the hurdle rate for fund management. If your investment can't outperform Bitcoin over 4 to 5 years, you should probably just buy Bitcoin. And then Anthony Pompliano went full bull. He argued the S&P's 15% monthly surge is the start of a generational bull market driven by AI and Bitcoin adoption. His logic, the central bank supports the market, rates are coming down, and because the US dollar has no bottom, assets like Bitcoin have no top. For the small business owner, the takeaway is simple. The smart money is building around Bitcoin as an asset class, not ignoring it. Now to the courtroom drama of the year. Elon Musk spent more than 7 hours over 3 days testifying in his $150 billion lawsuit against OpenAI and Sam Altman. His claim, he came up with the idea, the name, recruited the key people, provided all the initial funding, $38 million, and was promised OpenAI would stay a non-profit. Then they flipped it to for-profit without his blessing. His quote from the stand, "There's nothing wrong with having a for-profit organization, you just can't steal a charity." OpenAI's defense? Musk is bitter about their success after leaving the board in 2018, and the word charity doesn't appear once in the original 2015 blog post announcing OpenAI. Over on CNN, Nicholas Thompson from The Atlantic made a practical point. Even if Musk wins and it damages OpenAI, it wouldn't slow AI progress much. There are too many competitors now: Google, Anthropic, open source models, Chinese labs. The entrepreneurial alpha here? Don't depend on any single AI provider. Build model agnostic. The big players are fighting over control. You should be building on top of whoever wins. Okay, this one's wild. Tesla released full self-driving version 14.3, and the headline feature is a 20% faster reaction time. The panel on CERN Basher's channel broke down exactly what that means. Human reaction time in an emergency is about 1.5 seconds. Elite sprinters, the fastest humans alive, can react in about 1/10 of a second. Tesla's FSD is now operating at roughly 0.2 seconds. That's superhuman territory. But speed alone isn't the story. The car doesn't just react fast, It reacts precisely. A human who spots a deer might yank the steering wheel and spin out on a wet road. Tesla calculates the optimal response in milliseconds without overreacting. How'd they do it? They rewrote the entire AI compiler and runtime from the ground up. That's why the update was delayed. They also heavily used reinforcement learning, taking real incidents from safety drivers and running them through a simulator millions of times. Version 15 is coming later with a 10 times bigger model, but they're not waiting for that to launch robotaxis. Austin could go live on a variant of 14.3. For entrepreneurs watching the autonomous vehicle space, this is real. The gap between human and machine driving just closed, and the machine won. So if Tesla's software is going superhuman, what happens to the competition? CERN Basher's crew mapped it out. Waymo charges $5 per mile and only has a few hundred vehicles per city. Their strategy is to skim the highest margin rides across many cities rather than scale deep in any one. Uber's pitch is a hybrid network. Autonomous vehicles handle the base load. Human drivers surge for peaks like Friday night. Sounds smart, but here's the flaw. That logic only works if autonomous vehicles are expensive. If Tesla's Cybercab costs a fraction of a Waymo vehicle, it makes sense to have them sit idle during slow hours just to be ready for peaks. The Cyberbulls panel added more color. The Tesla Robotaxi app is now on Android. The fleet went from 17 to 26 unsupervised vehicles. They expanded to Dallas and Houston. The Cybercab, Tesla's purpose-built robotaxi, should be hailable imminently. Jeff Lutz on the panel predicted the Cybercab production line will eventually run faster than the Model Y line, which does 1.5 million units a year. The irony of all ironies? Tesla is becoming the new Uber, aggregating demand from private vehicle owners who put their cars into the autonomous network while they're at work. For entrepreneurs, watch the per-mile cost numbers. When robotaxis hit $1 a mile or less, the entire transportation, delivery, and logistics market gets repriced. Speaking of Musk, he's also building something called Macrohard. Yes, it's a jab at Microsoft. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Macrohard, internally codenamed Digital Optimus, is a joint project between xAI and Tesla. It pairs Grok, xAI's large language model, with a Tesla-built AI agent that can watch your screen and physically control your keyboard and mouse. Think about that. An AI that doesn't just chat with you, it actually uses your computer, opens apps, writes code, fills in spreadsheets, deploys software, all while you grab a coffee. It runs on Tesla's in-house AI-4 chips at about $650 each. SpaceX just acquired xAI at a $250 billion valuation. This is not a side project. Now the risks are real. Grok has had guardrail problems. Last year it generated content that got government agencies to pause its use. And giving an AI agent actual control over your software means a misunderstanding could delete files or corrupt data. But for small business owners, this is the trajectory. Not AI that answers questions. AI that does your work. The beta is estimated for late 2026. And now the philosophical framework for all of this, from the guy who literally invented the term vibe coding. Andrej Karpathy got on stage at Sequoia AI Ascent and laid out what comes next. He calls it Software 3.0. In Software 1.0, humans wrote code. In 2.0, neural networks learned from data. In 3.0, you write software in English. But he went further. Vibe coding, where you use AI to write code, is already yesterday's news. Agentic engineering is where AI systems autonomously plan, write, test, and iterate on their own. His key insight: reinforcement learning creates jagged intelligence. AI can be superhuman at verifiable tasks like math and code, but surprisingly weak at subjective stuff like creative judgment. So what's the human's job? 3 things: taste, specification, and oversight. You decide what to build and why. You check if the AI built it right. The AI handles everything else. His quote: "You can outsource your thinking, but you can't outsource your understanding." For the solo entrepreneur, you don't need a team of developers anymore. You need clear thinking about what problem you're solving and the judgment to know when the AI's output is good enough. That's your competitive edge. Let's end with the future stuff. First, someone built a beanie that reads your brain. Sabi, backed by Vinod Khosla with over $10 million, appeared on This Week in Startups. It's a non-invasive brain-computer interface in a beanie form factor. Thought to text without surgery. Shipping end of 2026. Jason Calacanis grilled them hard on whether it actually works, which is the right question. Second, NVIDIA announced Ising, the world's first family of open-source quantum AI models. It calibrates quantum processors using AI instead of manual tuning, turning days of work into hours. It's 2.5 times faster and 3 times more accurate than existing tools. Jensen Huang's line, AI is essential to making quantum computing practical. With Ising, AI becomes the operating system of quantum machines. Are either of these going to change your business this month? No, but in 5 years, brain interfaces and quantum computing are the next two platforms. The entrepreneurs who understand them early get first mover advantage. All right, 16 videos, 16 hours, here's what to do with it. Number 1, know your yield options. Look at STRC if you're Bitcoin curious but want income. 11.5% monthly tax advantage, not risk-free, but the best yield product in the market. Use a Roth IRA or HSA for maximum benefit. Number 2, build model agnostic. The Musk-Altman trial is a reminder, the AI landscape is volatile. Don't lock yourself into one provider. Claude today, Gemini tomorrow, open source next month. Number 3, watch the per mile number. When Robotaxi rides hit $1 a mile, every business that touches transportation changes. Delivery, logistics, commuting, all repriced. Start thinking about how that affects your business. Number 4, become the director. Karpathy says the new job is taste, specification, and oversight. This week, try building something with an AI agent. Not just asking it questions, but letting it execute. Number 5, stay curious about the weird stuff. Brain-computer interfaces and quantum AI sound like science fiction. So did smartphones in 2005. The entrepreneurs who pay attention early get to build first. 16 videos, 16 hours of content, 5 groups, 5 takeaways you can use right now. The machines are getting faster. Tesla's driving better than humans. Musk is building AI that controls your computer. Karpathy says stop coding and start directing. Strategy turned Bitcoin into an 11% cash machine, and someone put a brain-computer interface in a beanie. The speed is only going up from here. The entrepreneurs who keep up and actually act are the ones who will be standing when the dust settles. None of this is financial advice. All of it is actionable. And all of it came from 16 hours of video, so you didn't have to watch it yourself. Subscribe for the next roundup. Drop a comment if any of this hit home. Full source list with links to all 16 videos is in the description. This is Ask Lucky, Entrepreneurial Alpha. 16 hours of video, so you don't have to. See you next time.